I like to when
I'm
it looks like it's
so
reversed like
tired of
that, man.
fucking lose.
That one was it was right near the level there that Ken had marked up on that one. Bounced right off that level.
Cedric, you're still trading your 3 micros per trade?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Doesn't it feel easier than like trading like
It's
one
not as
full?
stressing me. It doesn't
It's not
stress
as
me out when I'm
stressful.
only down $50 as opposed to fucking 200.
200, try like 500-600. Like,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah, you're literally like your finger is on that exit and market button like every tick.
So when are people using the higher mini instead of the micro, and what circumstance other than the Kenneth circumstance where he's got
I
a
would
huge
say
buffer?
depends
All the
on
time.
your account size. If you have a 300K, you know, maybe you do that. But like if you're doing 100K and below, I would highly recommend trading micros, like say 100K, maybe 5 micros, 25 and 50K, like 2 or 3 micros max. It's just I personally think you're over leveraging if you're doing more than that. And believe me, I used to do that all the time. And it's just when it goes against you, man, it's just huge swings.
Yeah, I'm trying to associate the phase of the testing of these accounts as the honeymoon phase, something to go through slowly and enjoy and document thoroughly. So when we get past that point and you have a nice buffer, you have something you can show someone to say, hey, listen, I know you're having problems, but here's this is actually what I went through. Go ahead and take a look at this stuff, you know. That's might be helpful.
Hey guys, I'm back, by the way. I'm just getting some things set up on my other screen here. Getting my trading view reset up again.
Cedric, how many accounts you got passed?
I'm just working on the one. Ken said stick to one for now.
And you going for 2 more, or are you gonna go 5, or?
I want to get to 5.
Tasty.
I literally just hit my buffer on a 25K PA. The 20.
Where you at,
Awesome.
Matt? You got one passed, and
let's
5
go,
on the
man. Let's go, big dog.
I
You the
have
man,
a
bro.
PA on a 50K and a 25K, and then I have a evaluation on another 25K and a 50K, and those hopefully will pass within a week.
What about you, Clyde?
Yeah, I got 5 PAs,
Nice.
4 25Ks and 150K.
Nice.
I like those.
I'm working on my buffer though. I'm up, but I ain't at my buffer yet.
Yeah, you'll get there. You're going. I'm watching. You're doing it the way I'm going to do it. Nice and slow. No big rush. I've been doing this for a year and haven't got as far as we can get if we just slow down and, like he said,
Slow is fast
enjoy
and fast is slow.
Yeah, the tortoise and the hare, huh?
Man, yeah.
That's my new animal.
I took the profit target down a lot, you know, and just whatever I can get, I'm happy. You know, some days it might be $40, $50. Some days it's 100. 200.
Man.
It all
Don't forget to
ends up
trade.
though.
Grab
It's a
only
PA.
30, 40 bucks on a trade. I mean, you do that 5 or 6 times in a day, and then that adds up.
It adds up. Exactly. Those little bites, they make a whole meal.
Remember when Ken was saying, what animal do you associate trading with? I came up with a rabbit because they multiply, not because they're fast.
I like that. She's not gonna hang around down there too long, look like.
It'll be such a nice feeling when you're like 1 or 2K minimum past your buffer. A lot of those rules just won't apply anymore. But, that'll be nice.
It is it is nice once you get out of that place where you're trying to pass the evaluation or you're working towards that buffer. None of it feels real until you get, I mean, it feels real, but it's once you have that buffer, that's why I keep telling you guys, once you get to that point, if you'll just work towards that point of getting past that safety net, and then you've got a little bit of a buffer, you feel a lot more freedom with your trading. It feels like you're trading a cash account, because at that point you're not constantly thinking about rules and am I breaking them and am I doing this right or am I doing that right. You can just trade at that point. So I was listening to what you guys say. I think you've got a great plan. Taking it, that's what I like to hear, and I know for a fact you guys will be successful if you'll do that. Just taking it a little slower, and it's just as simple as this right here. Like I just won this Titan trade. I hope you guys took
Yeah,
it
Titan
as well.
one.
The nice TP, and boom,
We
you
can't
can
see
be
your
done.
screen, Ken. We
Oh.
can't see your screen.
Oh, all right. It's the same as you guys, but right here, share screen. It was just this Titan. So, 2 Titans in a row actually, but this is the one that I'm talking about right here. So yeah, anyway, yeah, 2 Titans, 2 wins. It's as simple as that. It could be as simple as that right there. You take that one trade. I just made 300 on that trade. And you could be done for the day, just like that. 300, get 20 accounts. You're sitting pretty. My bad. Yeah, what time do you want to go? That's what time it is. Yeah. I'm gonna take my boy to school real fast and come back before 10 o'clock. Let me do a quick little analysis. So you guys see my screen now, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's clear this chart. And this is what I like to use to figure out where we could end up today. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of zoom out and I'll look the obvious places. So obviously up here, right? This is kind of an untested, right? An untested value area. Look at the profile. This was from Sunday to Monday. So what had happened was you had all the time spent up here. The market spent a majority of its time here in value. It was happy here. Traders agreed. And then boom, something happened and it pushed out. And before the end of the day, all the volume collected here. So we have time acceptance here. This is where price spent most of his time. This is where most of the volume occurred right here. So 2 kind of important zones between here and between there. We're already in the volume zone, so that's not going to mean too much to us. it's already in the volume zone. There's already been 2 days. So what I'll do is I'll grab this day here. I can see that we've got overlapping. See, if I had the ability to, Matt, I was talking to you about this yesterday. If I
Yeah.
had the ability to, I would merge these two together, because you see how similar they are. They're very similar. Pretty balanced, right? Not quite D shape. This one's more P shape, but this one is perfectly balanced so far, right? Which means when you have a perfectly balanced profile, and not only is it perfectly balanced, but at this time we have volume and time acceptance in the same place. Typically, what'll happen is it will react to the outer edges. So that'll make it pretty simple if you just watch these outer edges like this right here, and these kind of like that right there. So that's going to be easy and obvious, but then I'll look right outside of that and I'll try to find the one zone that's not overlapping. Like, you see how this is kind of untested here. There's an untested zone up here. I'd like to find one below there. And so I'd look at this first, right? And I can kind of see that when I say untested, what I mean is, you see how from the top to the bottom, price is tested into it, but it's like a zone, like a volume level zone that we have. Like, it hasn't been broken. Maybe prices come down into this zone, but it's supported it, and price has not pushed below it. So we could use this zone, which we've really been using all week. So we've got our support down here. We would expect resistance up here. But previously in time, price, when it found itself inside of here, traders agreed, and there was value inside of here. So it's very likely that price will at least slow down in these areas. These would be good areas to look for as targets or reversal areas. So that's kind of what's what's on the map today. We've got this zone here, which I'd be excited to watch, and then I'd be even more excited if price would come up and out into this area of rejection. If we look at that on a regular chart, you'll see it's a wick, right? So if price came into here, right, maybe we see the same type of price action that we got last time. Rejected, just rejected, rejected. See all these areas right there? So, and now that's where we just dipped into today. So we'll watch those areas. That kind of gives us an idea. Hopefully that's pretty clear for you guys. So in other words, if price breaks out of this little zone that it's in, like right here, we're most likely aiming for these areas. And what I would, as long as price keeps doing it, I would look for price to come in and out, just like that. Now, if it breaks out of these zones, then we've got a big fat zone right here. Obviously, the next place, and we'll talk about that if it happens, but it would be down here. So if we were to break this zone here, we've got a nice push all the way down into the 300s. That's where I would start looking. And then again, if we break above here, the next zone, let me just see. Yeah, we'd be looking up into that area. So we're just kind of in a interesting place. You see price was trending, and now it's moved into consolidation. You could almost merge all these together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could almost move all 6 of these together, and it would have more of a like a P to a D shaped thing. I might do that a little bit later to show you guys what I'm talking about. I'll do it on Addis, because you have the ability to merge profiles together, and I'll show you what I mean, because that just shows you when you merge them all together, because they're sideways a little bit, right? So you see P, D, D, P, more D, and more D. So they're all pushed together like that. There's most likely most of the volume is going to be up at the top. If you merged all these together, you're going to see a pattern that looks kind of like if you take all these from here to over here, it would probably be a little bit like shaped. Let's see if I completely mess this up. kind of like that, kind of like this, where there's a little bit less volume down here, but the POC is going to be running straight through here. And so if price comes down into here, we're going to really expect it to pull back up into that zone, especially if it finds support down at these other zones. So just a visual, so you can kind of have an idea of what the market's looking like. That's what that's how I see it. So we're in these zones. We'll use those as support. I've got them on this chart as well. So we'll see what it does. And then 1 second. Let me see what I've got.
Titan 1 minute.
Yeah, it did. And then we've got a zone that I would watch starting at 580. And I'm going to leave y'all with this, and then I got to take off real quick. 580 down to 574. There might be a buy opportunity right here. But if price breaks below there, we're probably going to be sweeping the low. So what I would do is I would target, unless the POC shifts while I'm gone, I would assume that we end up back around like that. Something similar to that. If this zone holds right here, and let me just make sure that I'm exact. $580 on the dot. So this should be 580 on the dot. This is a low risk trade. It could win or it could lose, but it's small. So in other words, the risk is low. And that is 573.75. 5. Okay. All right, guys. I'll be right back. I'm gonna run and I'm gonna try to get back before. I'm probably not gonna make it for 10 o'clock. So just keep an eye. I'd love for this zone to hold up, but if you guys know how 10 o'clock is. A lot of time, 10 o'clock is gonna come in. Volume's gonna push. It might go and push. This is yesterday's low right here, I believe. Let me just make sure. Yeah, this is yesterday's low right here. So we might catch a quick scalp off of this. Maybe don't be so big with this. Maybe just hit it like a 1 to 2 or something like that. And then just a quick scalp, and it may end up running the lows. Trade looks good, but I really don't like that it's right at the daily low. So that's that. Questions? Anyone got questions on that? Pretty simple. Know what to do. 25 ticks.
Looking good.
All right.
Looking good.
25. Okay.
I wanted to buy that like about 3 minutes ago, but I was waiting. I'm waiting for the 10 o'clock. If you look on the 5-minute chart, it's actually not looking very great. We're in a kind of a zone. We got a bunch of medium and short bodies with really long wicks. That makes it tricky.
Not a lot of good trending price action there right now. So,
No, just on the opening, the down and then the up, and then after that, it's there was a Titan that won, but
yeah, that was on the way down though. Yeah, exactly. Like now we're in a little chop zone. So hopefully
we are definitely.
hopefully volume kind of floods in here a little bit later. It's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah. We got yesterday's lows at 560, but I don't know if we go for that yet.
Well, it kind of already peaked there on the very beginning on the opening, right, Clyde? It like 6 minutes into the market open, it tapped 567. God, what's going up?
Yeah, it's that Titan.
All right, guys, I just got back. All right, we never went down. We are going up. Nice little Titan win right there, huh?
Nice little
Yep.
Titan win.
All right. All right. All right. That zone down there still holds up. Tried to take I lost a trade right before I left. I tried to hop in right here. It was $100, but I tried to. I was really anticipating that price was going to go down here right when we were around that 10 o'clock. So I was thinking it'd be good to sell down to here and then buy off of that zone, but it just didn't hold up. I probably forced that trade anyways, because looking at it, I mean, Delta was kind of up, everything was up, but I was trying to snag it right before I left. This don't look too bad. I know that this flush isn't happening at a key level, but in terms of the price action, it looks pretty good, bouncing right off of VWAP. Again, though, Delta's pushing pretty high. We'd have to see a change of hands, a little more aggressive change of hands.
Yeah, I'm done. I took 2 losses just now. I'm done.
What are you trading?
I pretty MNQ.
What'd you lose on?
I tried to I actually tried to buy and it pulled back on me. And so I lost $100 there, and then I did it again. I tried to get back in it, going to buy it, pulled back again. So I tried to trade the 13, and I got beat on that one. But it's all right. It's a 0 day.
Yeah, it's, you know what? One of those days where you look back and you say, man, I should have just stuck to the Titan trades, because you see Titans have done nothing but crank out winners since we opened. It's, when you're trying to buy, and especially because you're probably looking at Delta, right? Well, how'd you get stopped out on that? Because these candles are not breaking in their lows; they're just going higher and higher.
I was keeping my stops low, and I was doing a
tight.
5 instead of a 3. Yeah, I was doing them too tight.
Oh, I see.
It's all right though. 2 quick losses.
Hey, at least you're stopping. That's a big step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Normally this is the moment where Cedric disappears for the day. You know what I mean? You say, "Oh,
I feel you. I definitely feel you.
you be over there clicking buttons, and we're like, where did Cedric go?" And then we know, and we know. So I'm proud of you. Not every single day is going to be a walk in the park, but I would say, hey, on a day like this, Titans, that when they're working and you can see them cranking out winners, or if you're about to take a trade, just ask, what do you think about this? I know I may have not been here just now, but
No, I know. It's all right. It's all right. I'm with you, boss.
see, man, I see, and I skipped this. I called it too. I said there was a good sell right here. I didn't take it. It would have been $170 risk. Kind of looks like let me do it on TradingView. I'm starting to see the range, and it's big, but I think that it's kind of looking like. Let me check this first.
And I was saying while you were gone, if after you're off that chart, if you go to a 5-minute chart, there's a lot of like medium to small bodies with large wicks
On a what time frame?
on a five
On
minute.
5. All right, I'll check it out here in 1 sec. Just want to try to identify the range because it is looking kind of rangy. I don't like my ranges being so big, but I can't help but see, like, right, I see this area here where we fake braked above the high after the open. This low was set in after the open. So as much as I hate for the range to be this big, I think this is what we're working with right here. All this happened after open. So we opened up, price pushed down to here, found buyers, and turned it around. So we've got an obvious low here. I know it's untested, but it's an obvious low there. Price tried to come back up and failed to break the high. So this is for sure the high of our range. And we've got our midpoint, which is running right through here. So this is the kind of the area that I'll be watching until further notice. Okay, and then what'd you say on a 5-minute? If I look here, you got
Yeah, just
oh
look at
yeah.
the.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
ugly.
That almost makes it even easier to look at it like this. Look, just make a little box kind of like that. And go back to the 1 minute. Price came out, pushed back in. Price came out, pushed back in. Price came out, pushed back in. Price pushed out, came back in. See what I pointing out there? If you just kind
Yeah,
of
pretty.
highlight just the body part of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty rangy there, a little choppy.
This is where this is my style of trading though. I like this. This makes it really easy for me because what I like to do, and I may just do it here in a second. I'll start looking in here, and I'll look in here, anywhere in here or in here, these untested areas, and I can look for the same thing here. See, this is what I did right here. This trade here is based off of volume that's within this candle right there. So as long as it's in a range, there's a good chance it'll just tap up and respect those areas. So let me show you. So you can see where we are right here. So I'll look in this area or I'll look in these areas. And so what that would look like, I like to find untested. So like this is a little bit untested right here. And these are pretty low risk too. This is only about $120. So I focus on the volume area. So inside of this candle here, you can see we've got a bulk of the volume in there. As long as a bulk of all the volume is actually in there, I'll use this zone specifically. But like how I can see there's a little extra volume outside of there, I'll expand this to include that sometimes. So, but that's what that looks like there, and it's just barely been tested by the next candle. So that looks like a pretty good rejection zone, and then like even this right here, see this is happening as we speak. If price retests this area right here, these are super low risk to get into. That's a $65 risk if price would, the same thing right here. If price comes back into this area, Delta's pushing down. We could tell we've got aggressive selling. Just look for Matt. I talked to you about this one time. Is the price pulling back 50% of the way, right? And so if it pulled back 50% of that candle, and we could see that we've got, consider this a wall, right? This is like a wall of volume inside of here. And then I'll look closely to see. I mean, we want to see stacked sell imbalances at the low here, right? So showing sellers, strong sellers, ideally, right? So let's see what it does. That one would have pushed through. But anyway, I'll look at these right here. This is just in the making of it, and then I'll try to find areas like this here. So we'll I don't see any up there right now that are untested, and the only one that I do see is this one right here. Kind of give you some ideas that you could trade while you're in the range, or if if we started getting a tighten to set up, and you've got that 3-bar pattern, you could see price push up and then retest the volume zone and then continue. That one's not holding up very well. These are not good. Now we got the volume there. Everything's switching over. Used to be an option on here for me to make these bigger. What is today, the 10th? Yeah.
I haven't taken a trade yet.
Yeah, I took 2. My first trade, that first trade I took was a Titan. That one worked great. That was right at open. Bam, right just it was just smashing into everything volume related. VWAP, POC, every single thing was right in the center of everything. Plus it was at the midpoint of the day, so it was just like perfect trade. Let's see here. So look, see, this is what I'm talking about with the Titan. I've been trying to identify any kind of patterns like here. We've got the first candle with all the volume. What I'd really like to see is this second candle that comes in, respecting this area. See, that don't look too bad like that. Let me see what it looks like on TradingView. Put TradingView there. I'm just trying to see if there's a specific pattern that that seems to hold up really well when it comes to Titans and using volume with it. This this Titan, the TP2, let me see if it's at, well, POC is at 60. So if it would push straight up to the POC, we'd get a TP1 out of that easy. It's bouncing off of the VWAP right now, though. What you gonna do? I said nope. I gotta close my platform, reopen it.
Feel like it's one of those spots where that range so tight, it's gonna it can keep activating certain titans.
Yeah, I think that this one looked good, but the easiest thing to do is trade here and down here. Stick to your trades right there, because we already know I mean, especially what we just looked at on the 5-minute look. Every time it comes out of here, it pushes back in, comes out, pushes in, comes out, pushes in. That was what I picked up from the 5-minute chart that Matt shared, that he had said. Plus, you got quantum right here that is it's totally sideways. So just be patient. Sooner or later, it will break out of this area. So, or at least start getting out to these outer edges, and we'll be able to see those clear trades. This is just going to be difficult to trade. Stick to the outsides.
Usually on the outsides we get better movement anyway, right? I mean, that's what the whole point is, right? More clear, defined trend when it
Right.
moves out of the chop.
Well, it's just more predictable. I mean, we could literally see in here. You don't know, you have value, you have acceptance. So buyers and sellers are
Yeah.
they're just buying and selling, just doing their thing in here. It's when price becomes imbalanced, or when it breaks out of those areas, that's where those good opportunities come in. So it'll happen. You just got to be patient enough to wait for it, and expect. And I know it's harder because you got signals popping up right in front of you, so it's easy to kind of, I don't know if you use the word FOMO or what, but it's easy to just want to go on in there and just get part of the action. But it's so much more rewarding if you just wait until price moves to those areas. When it moves to those areas, you could trade them. Keep it
Yeah,
simple.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Way safer. Yep.
Yeah.
There's a 5-minute Titan kind of just right around the entry now.
What is it, a buy?
Yeah.
I'm going to hold off until we get up into these areas.
Yeah, I'm holding off on it. We're kind of in at the top of a mini zone.
We're doing this is that same 5-minute zone that you pointed out on the
Yeah.
5-minute. And it's just, this is the first time that we've actually had a little bit of, like a candle that pushed out. You see, what is it? This has 30 seconds left. So unless this candle slams back in here, this is the first candle that's actually closed outside on the second candle. See, we closed out here and then we closed out here. So this one might actually pop it out of here. It's the first time that that's happened. Every other
We're
time,
right near my markup, my session POC.
Oh, okay. Since opened.
Well, for the day at the start of the new day.
Right. Okay.
The daily, yeah.
There's another Titan gonna set up right here. This one, I don't think this one looks too bad, you guys, just because we're now out of here, but it could end up being that fake break style trade. But we did close out. We closed out of there, and then we, if we continue, it is a continuation style trade there. Got 20 seconds to set up anyway. But we did close up above VWAP. Only problem with this is POC is right up above there too. Yeah. It didn't set up in time.
I was kind of locked and loaded on that one.
That one did look good. location
It
wise.
did look good. Going towards that previous higher high, it
I
looked it real good.
I had to fight myself though. I was ready to put an order in too, and I was like, no, I said I'm gonna wait until it gets to those outer edges. I'm not gonna trade unless it gets out there.
And it
What we
only
waiting
broke
on at the
just like
outer?
you
What we
said.
waiting on at the outer edges?
I'm just gonna look for either a tighten
Eh,
up here, like turning back into the range, or a flush style trade.
I see what you're saying.
Just remember, you guys, we talked about this numerous times. Today is the interest rate decision. So realistically, we should be bullish on um NASDAQ, which I was already bullish on it from the open. That's why I said when it first opened up, I was like, all of our stuff is up above. All of our volume levels are up above. Everything's really up above. But what happens on a day like today is you have either pricing in or anticipation. And what it looks like to me is anticipation, which means nobody's doing anything. The market, nobody's going in, it's anticipating, right? So a lot of times before a big event like that, you may just see the market not doing much at all. So, because it's more of a risk off type of environment, people are not getting involved in big trades, especially trades that they're planning on holding for any amount of time, because they know the news is going to be coming out, and it's, even though we have expectations, it's not a guarantee. So, if you had a ton of money, right, what would you be doing if you had a ton of money? You're not, these big players, they're not forced to trade. They don't have that itch where they're like, I got to take a trade. I got to take a trade. They're all about timing. So they want to take advantage of the market. They're not going to be, just, like willy-nilly, like in here just trading just for the fun of it on a
They're not
day.
gonna get FOMO then.
Yeah, like on a day like today, nah, they're not interested in that. What they might be doing, bigger players, is waiting for that news event, letting everybody else build. Like, think about it like this: wouldn't it be perfect? Wouldn't this be a perfect storm for them to slowly engineer a big trap today, right? A big range, getting a lot of buyers or a lot of sellers, right? Let's say we're expecting NASDAQ to go up today. So what would make the most sense is to try to get as many traders into sell positions as possible this morning leading up to the event, and then right leading up to the event, push it down, get everyone to start selling, and they passively are buying and building a position. So think of it that way, right? That makes the most sense today. So and that is if price is going to go up. I don't know if it's going to go up or not. I'm just speculating, but yeah, they'll build a position. That way they're in position when the market, when the news comes out. They'll hit a couple buttons, make it, finish off the trap, probably sweep lows one more time, and then bam, the thing skyrockets. But they will have already engineered it and been working on the trap for hours. What looks to be instant to us, like, whoa, that was crazy, they've been working on all morning. So just think about it. Remember that they're moving with extreme precision today. They have a plan. So you should too. And so that can work for you, right? It might not make for the best trading environment right now, just because there's not a lot happening, right? I mean, since open, this is what we hit, this is what we are, this is what we have right here. So doesn't look fun, but there's a lot going on in here. There's a lot. And I can show you too, there's a lot going on, because if I go like this, who's calling me? Hold on. 1 second, guys. I'll come right back.
Got a lower low on CVD. Man, CVD's trending down, price trended up.
Clyde, typically when that happens, when the CBD is trending down and the price is trending up, what is that? I know that's divergence, right?
It's divergence. Yeah.
Okay.
It means
sounds
price
like.
could,
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
I was about to say, the price could catch up with CVD, or CVD can catch up with price. That's the thing with it. You just have to kind of watch it and see what it does. With CVD trending down, what Ken said is the CVD is more important because it tells you what's actually going on. So with CVD trending down, price should start trending down a little bit. So these short-term lows get to looking a little bit good. Is that a Titan setting up?
Yeah. Yeah. Pending entry.
It's still in that nasty range right there.
Man, ain't it? Ain't it though?
Yeah, it's so tempting. I wouldn't want to touch it though. Yeah, it's just like craving a trade, but that's probably it's a bad area to be in right now.
And there's probably a wall of sellers sitting right there ready to take it back down if it does.
The fact it gotta go up 10 points just to activate makes it even worse almost.
Yeah.
I mean that's close in the yeah, even set up. Look at that. I was gonna say yeah, I was gonna say, Clyde, yeah, that's like absorption of sellers, I believe, when the price keeps going up, but it doesn't push really high. And then the CVD is going down. That divergence.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's a nice look. Like I said, CVD is still trending down. CVD's a down slope. Price was in an up slope.
Yeah, I want to see it.
We're getting the first short. We're getting the first short of low. I was just saying that CVD's trending down, but price is trended up.
Yeah, and so look, check this out. I measure CVD in a few different ways, and this way right here, these are delta bars. So basically, if a bar has negative delta or positive delta, right? It's always going to have negative or positive delta. And so instead of showing it cumulatively, what I've done here is I've just put it as a histogram so that I can see the intensity of the delta, right? Because obviously, right, when you're looking at CVD, you'll notice some of those CVD bars are bigger in size than others, which means that they have a bigger net difference in buyers versus sellers or sellers versus buyers. So I like to do this because I like to compare the average. So when I see big CVD bars like this or like this, I know that there's a lot of aggressive selling or buying because there's a big net difference. And so when you combine that with volume, right, you typically have some pretty clear things going on. But look at this is abnormal, by the way. You see how many of these look at big buys, big sales, big sales, big buys, right? A lot of these are poking up way bigger than the average. To me, what that looks like, and when I normally see this happening, is that's more like they're building a position, right? And that makes sense as to why price is moving sideways, because we've got big buyers, big sellers, big buyers, big sellers. To me, it's like it looks like almost like a hedge, or almost like something being engineered, right? So think of it this way. Right now, what do you think people are thinking? They're thinking to sell, most likely. They're thinking, oh, look, it broke out, it broke a trend line, right? They're selling, they're getting involved right now. And now here shortly after that, we might see some aggressive buys. So they're getting people into sales, into buys, just basically, to what it looks like to me is engineering, setting the whole thing up. And as long as this keeps happening here, I mean, it's right in line with what I was saying about building up a good position here before the news comes out, which is at what time is it at?
12 o'clock in the Eastern.
I think so. Let me just make sure. Yeah, 12 o'clock. Yeah, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So that will be in an hour and a half. They got an hour and a half to do what they're going to do. Now, again, the rate is supposed to go down. Right? The rate's supposed to go down, which means that the dollar, that typically results in a muted or bearish dollar. Let me see if we're at a little volume zone. I was kind of eyeballing right now.
Has Trump been talking about the economy?
I don't know. I really haven't. I really haven't been like watching,
Following.
like super watching. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Got a lot of volume coming in here. So yeah, there's like super strong sales right here.
I was also going to say that in at 9:50 exchange time, we've got a sell signal, time signal for a 5 minute. That's 400 points. Again, it's a big one. So that's kind of what I'd expect. It kind of aligns up with what you're saying. They're building a position for us to sell, for all the sellers, but then they're going to flip it right when the news comes around 10. I'm sure that's going to flip around. So that's kind of, it's in line. It's setting up right now.
Yep, exactly.
So, yeah.
I wonder if this level will hold right here. It was so long ago that I seen this. This is about $130 risk, just to be very clear for anyone that's trading this zone here.
That's that 680 zone, man.
Yeah, I'm thinking just quick scalp if anything.
See what happens.
Basically a 1-for-1 type of deal. What'd I say? 130. I don't know. It pushed straight into it. I don't like it when they do that. What I like is for them to tap the edge of it and then go the other way.
Right up. Yeah. That's not happening right now.
Nah.
No.
I took it and I got stopped on it.
Ooh, yeah. Because it slapped your level, but it's going back up. And I use that as a support line.
How could it do that to me? It literally, I had my stop loss 1 tick below the level and it went 1 tick below the level.
Oh, no.
Like, oh man, look at that. That hurts.
Yeah.
Either way, it wouldn't have worked. So, but like I said, normally if it pushes into the level, it's not going to hold up. What I normally see with these, where they work really good, is it ticks into that level and then turns around. But I already had my doubts on that one because this is right next to the daily low as well. So
look, now it's time to turn around.
Yeah, well, it's going to go for the low. It's going to go for the daily low.
Yeah.
If it broke that level, there's nothing in between that and the low. So
I would say I think there's a good case to be made for it to hit 543.
543. That would be nice. Let's see. Let me zoom out a little bit and see. Oh yeah. I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, I could see that slapping that and then turning around there since it already broke that level. That's another support level that we had marked up from the week before. So, yeah, exactly.
What is today? I said today is the 10th. So, yeah, and there was a lot of trades that came in. There was a lot of trades that came in. Yeah, I think you're right. I know I can see down to 560 easy right now from where it's at. And then I'd have to zoom out real far to see what you're talking about, all the way down at you said 540?
543, but I think it might just get really close to it. It'll probably aim for it because we still have that signal that comes up in the next 10 minutes or so. It's a sell, so if it does end up taking that direction, it probably will go further lower. But looking at where it is at right now with that 1 minute candle, I'm thinking it could do anything right now. It's kind of building up.
Yeah, see, I was thinking right here. I was looking at this low here that if we break today's low, well, there's a good chance we'll probably go for this low as well.
Yesterday's low, yeah. I see that. Yeah.
There it
And there's a
goes.
Titan setting up. Yeah. I was
There
gonna
she
say
go.
Yeah,
that
man.
Titan.
There she go.
Did it hit? That was quick.
It triggered. It
Yes.
just hasn't hit yet. But that TP is right at that low that I was talking about.
Yeah.
So that looks pretty good.
That Titan came in quick on my computer. Man, I couldn't even get ready for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, we'll wait.
Yeah. Get rid of that. Get rid of that.
Apex 90% off, $19.60.
Oh wow.
What? Oh wow. Oh wow.
I'll go take a look at that right now, and I'll put the details in Discord. See, I'm telling you, we just talked about this yesterday. We've got to make sure that we are working that. It's like it is literally like FOMO style thing that they do with those deals. It's the craziest thing. Yeah, I see it. So, all right. All right, guys, if you go and look at Discord, let me space it out a little. I'll make it real clear to read. So all evaluations, they're priced at $196. So they're $19 if you use the discount code. $19 for the discount code. 50% off reoccurring, which really doesn't matter because you guys are going to pass them in less than a month. The PA accounts are for the 50K are $84 or $65, which is a good deal. So basically $84 all in. Resets are 60. 1 day to pass is okay. Okay. I'm going to start changing the wording of that, but not required. It ends on the 16th. So, hey, they actually gave us a decent amount of time to take advantage of it too. Okay, there you go. It's all in Discord. That's pretty good. That's pretty good to get these evaluations for $20, man.
Just passed a 50K eval now.
Very nice.
I might going ham today.
Let's see. Oh, we made it. We I didn't notice, but we pushed down past the daily low. We did push down past the daily low.
Yeah, I just caught that Titan.
Let me see here.
Ken, I put in the chat. I'm just wondering, like as I had to reset my whole Tradeovate account chart,
Yeah.
and on the accounts, I put in the chat. You can see like it's truncated, and there's no there's a column, but there's no way to. Oh, wait a minute. I see. Yeah, it slides. It makes it bigger. You have to grab it at the top. Okay, so I answered my own question there. So that's easy. But there's just a sec. There's another one that I was going to ask you about. For the positions, I'll put in the chat here. Before when I was in a position, it would show like I can't remember, it was like a buy or a sell symbol, like up or down arrow. How do I get that back? Because that what I have now doesn't do that.
Okay, so on which platform?
Tradeovate.
So on
I put in the
Tradeovate.
chat. Like
Okay,
there's
let me see.
you can do something that shows your positions. So if I had an open position and it was open $10, it would say
Oh, yeah.
net positive $10. But it would show like a buy or a sell.
Right, right. I know exactly what you're talking about. Let me try to pull it up.
I've looked at the columns, like you know how you can select columns. I can't find the one.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I used to have mine set up like that too. Let me just pull it up here. Can you guys see my screen, right? I don't see my little screen share thing. Okay, yeah, there it is. It's good. So that would be modules. You added positions, right?
Yeah, I have that positions. Yeah.
And it's not under is it under orders? Let me see.
You'd have to go to select column, right?
Let me find out. I'm about to find out right now.
I don't know. It was just something like there was a up or a down arrow.
And you could press
And
close, right?
well, I just had those three: the symbol, the net position, and the open profit and loss. But there was another one that was a up or a down arrow showing it was a buy or a sell.
Yeah. And did it have, do you remember if it had a little close button next to it where you could modify the
No, it didn't have a close button. No. I know the one you mean, but didn't have a close button.
Yeah, I'm checking
I mean, it's not super important, but it's nice. Like I know, okay, I'm in a buy, but I liked it when it showed you, okay, you were in a buy.
Yeah, I know exactly what
I
you're
don't know if
talking about.
anybody else knows.
It does. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I just don't. Maybe it was maybe you do have to go in and add some columns or something in there.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to add them all one by one and test it out. It's just it's weird.
Yeah. I used to have that on there. I just don't, I don't see it now. Weird.
Okay.
Wonder when Tradeovate's ever going to get a nice update. You know that?
I wonder if we're going back up to the middle of the middle of the range.
You say yours swept the low on yesterday's low, Ken?
On
Mine didn't.
on NASDAQ?
Mine didn't. Mine don't look like it did yet. Still ain't swept that low from yesterday.
It should be the low should be swept. Everyone else got a low. Well, I don't know if it's yesterday's low. It's the current day low that it swept. So
Gotcha. I was looking at yesterday's low.
And then we got this low, which we're that was this little zone. So yeah, we haven't swept yesterday's low, only the current day low.
Gotcha.
By the way, you guys, I think I said this out loud. I put the deal for Apex inside of Discord.
Hey Ken, on that deal, I know yesterday we were talking about, I guess the time frame in order to, be able to pass it. And I mean, it's normal, right? It's not no abbreviated, time frame on that. I know you were talking about they dropped the deal on one day and then you have to have your evaluation completed within like 3-4 days.
Right.
We're not dealing with that this time, right? As far as you know.
So basically, whatever you see in that little thing that I put in Discord,
yes, sir.
Like how much it cost and all that kind of stuff, you can take advantage of this specific deal and all of it's in everything it includes by December 16th. After that,
Okay.
all prices just go back to normal.
Gotcha. Makes sense to me. I'll pick up me a couple of more 25Ks then.
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
But there's, well, I was just going to say, I want to make sure that I understood what he was saying too. But there's never a time frame for you to complete it. You could keep paying on this thing indefinitely. It's just the time frame is only for the prices. So like
Right.
sometimes I think people get confused when they say 1 day to pass. It doesn't mean you only have 1 day to pass. It means you can pass it in 1 day.
Right.
And so I think there's
Right.
confusion over that stuff. And so I just want to make sure you understand that too. That's like you could take whatever time you need as long as you keep paying your monthly and you don't fail. Then you could take as long as you need. You just won't have. It's just like Kim has said before, the prices are just dependent on what promotions are going on at the time.
Yeah, and that's why right here I put inside of here, I changed how I said is 1 day to pass is okay, but not required. Yeah, man, they are so weird with their wording, huh?
Yeah.
So if we pass this, only from now until December 16th, the PA price is going to be, I think, 65, I think, instead of.
You would log into Apex.
Yeah, I can't log in either, actually.
Oh, it's because they just did that deal. Everyone's crashing.
Everyone's
the website.
dumping.
They always do that when they do a 90% off deal. They crash the website. It happens.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because I was about to buy. I'm about to buy 5 of those mugs right now.
So I have until the 16th to get the PA price of 65 versus the standard 140.
Exactly.
Only now until the 16th. So if say
$20 to buy it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
65 to activate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get that done. Apex needs to wake up.
Gotcha. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Because I swore, I thought there was one time I bought one during like one of these deals and I ended up passing it after. And I swear I thought they gave me that same deal for the PA. Of like, I think at that time it was like $60 or 50, something like that. I think I could be wrong. I probably am wrong, but.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is what I've seen is that sometimes what happens, this works out for you. Sometimes what happens is they'll do a deal and the deal will expire and it may disappear, but it's still like coded in their website. You know what I mean? So like I've seen many times where somebody missed the deal, but then they went and tried to enter the code anyways, and then it worked and they're like, hey, it worked, you know? So it's always worth a try. You could always just log in and try to put the coupon code in there and see what happens. $19.60. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, it didn't work.
There we go. Now Apex is back.
Okay, I'm done for the day. I'm off to work. Profitable day.
How'd you do?
I'm up 170, and like I said, I passed one eval. And I'm like at the buffer on a PA, just about to pass another eval. I think I'm going to buy a couple more on the deal.
Well, nice job.
I like those 25K ones now. That's my strategy.
Really?
So what are you doing? Passing them in 2 days or so?
No, well, I can try to YOLO, but I don't know. I don't know.
I'm just wondering if it's if it's way easier to pass them or what.
Yeah.
Well, I like it because
I passed it in like a week. I passed mine in about a week and a half.
It took me a week to pass, and
I took it easy.
It's only $1,500. I mean, and what's interesting, it's $1,500 for your trailing drawdown, but it's only $1,500 for the target as well.
Right.
Which is better than the other accounts. And 1,500 is,
Can you send me $35?
Yeah, it's
they just put a sale out.
And once you have your buffer, like we were saying, it doesn't matter if you have a 300K account or a 25K account. Once you have that buffer, you're golden.
Yeah.
So Matt, you're shooting for 35,000 as your buffer on those
Hey,
25Ks?
we just broke the low, you guys, just by the way.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
just $2,500 over and above.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm thinking like $10,000 for the buffer.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't go crazy and lose more than 2,500 in a day.
Okay, got you. So the buffer would be more like double whatever the trailing drawdown would be in
That's what I
ideal
do.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you guys? I just caught a nice trade off.
You got
of
that?
yeah, I was
Got that
selling.
sale?
I had a feeling we were gonna go break the low, so I just went ahead. Now I'm interested to see if this flushes out perfectly right here.
It also got close to that area that I was saying. I said 543, and it went 550.
Yep.
Yeah. So I kind of called it, but I was kind of, I don't know if it'll keep on going down. That's my bias there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
you said that based off the
gonna
200 too, right?
take a stab at buying it right now and just see if I can't catch a quick pop right back up. Because it's so low, it's so close to the low. If you know what I mean, it's that type price action. If it goes lower, then I wouldn't want to be in it. But this is kind of the lowest risk place that you could take the trade. We had a clear step. Sellers were selling and buyers did step in. So it looks like it could pop up. Now, where will it go is the question I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, tighten in the red zone.
If it keeps going up, Ken, I think it's going to go to 578 there, and then something's going to happen around that level.
Yeah, I've got my TP at 581 right now. I'm
How
up.
about that at the bottom? I'm done.
Yeah, I'm up 200.
I'm up. Yeah, I just tore it up with that quick 200. I bought it at about when it went down and made that 25,554 when I bought in.
Oh, nice.
25,554, and I got out at the high of this candle at the opening price of this candle right here.
Nice. Yeah, that worked. That was a perfect flush. You see, that's why I say I like to look at them at. I know it
My
flushes
first trade of the day.
that feels good, huh?
You said though, you told me the other day, Ken, you said, yeah, you don't want to take all of them. You said you want to wait for a point of interest or a key area to do it. High day, lower day, and you said it makes it more powerful.
Yeah, yep, it does too, and you see it right there.
Mm-hmm. Quick flush.
Yeah.
Even if it keeps going down, I got mine.
Right.
That's right. That's the scalp right there. That's perfect.
Oh yeah, I mean you got more than it's anything over a 1-to-1 is awesome, and it's because the thing is, look, you walk into anywhere, if you walk in anywhere and they say that you have an opportunity to put down $100 and double your money, you're going to take that opportunity. Now if they say you put down $100 and you're going to walk away with 200, you're definitely going to take that opportunity. So anything 1-to-1 is great. Anything over a 1-to-1 is even better. It's just good. So hold on a second. My kid wants to tell me something. I'll be right back. I gotta help him with something.
Go ahead. Yeah, man, that was a good trade. Hey, look at this Titan setting up.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah,
that's a lot of. It's at the low of the day. We really ain't break it. We might get a flush trade back to the inside. Might go back to the top. But
yeah, I think we're done pushing low. But
let's see first.
You never know. You never know.
I just got another Titan change. Yeah, that other one is
setting up. I said we got a sell setting up. She going down lower.
Woo, I don't know.
Lower.
Oh
shit.
She
man,
gone.
Oh
He
shit.
ain't playing. That was
Let
a
me get
good
that.
one.
Yeah, that was a real
That
good
was a good one.
sit on that
That
one.
was a
Yeah.
good one.
But that
I
was a real
wasn't
good
sure if it did past my level, dude, and that it did. It definitely did. It went past my level, like blasted it. And
Congratulations, man.
man, that one was quick.
Congratulations. Hey,
That-
we ate today. If you waited around, even if you didn't catch the ones, the first few openings, because I usually
oh,
wait till after 9. I don't trade. I don't trade the opening.
yeah,
And
that opening is crazy. I know. I'm with you.
and then and sometimes I see it winning all the time, and you feel the FOMO, but you like it'll help you stick to a plan if you wait until 9. Then just wait till after 9. That was my first trade for the day. I'm done.
Solid, man.
Nice, good stuff.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
think
gonna sit around and
it
wait
went
on another
down.
one.
Yeah, it went down to like that 530, 32 level. Tapped this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, blasted through my level. That was
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, I almost couldn't get in and get out quick enough on that one.
No, I honestly couldn't either. That. I wish I had taken it a little bit better, but yeah,
Man,
it's because I was
y'all
aiming for
almost
that.
wish you this. She
You're
showed
right.
tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at it, was up like $230, and then I think I got out like 130.
Yeah.
They said I'll take that.
Like, let me go on and hit that button.
Yeah, that's why sometimes those pending orders save your butt. That's
Yeah.
really how it goes. Yeah.
I didn't even see the pending come in on that one. That's the crazy part, though. I mean,
Oh, it was fast. It set up fast, and then it just dipped.
like, there it goes. One still going down.
Man. But I think it's gonna bounce off that support level I have. That 543. That's where it's gonna bounce right. That's from the 4-hour levels we set up earlier this week. So. Lots of crazy price action around that level before. So
What
And
account size?
the last time they did it, I don't remember. Did we go up or did we go down last time we had an interest rate decision?
oh yeah, interest rate. I don't remember.
We went up. We went up.
We went up.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can clearly remember making thousands of dollars that day.
He said thousands.
Literally thousands of dollars that day. That was a huge day for me.
I think I remember that day. I think you made like $2,000, $3,000 or something like that.
We actually left the webinar, and then I went live during the interest rate decision, which I'm gonna do again today. Yeah, so there was only a handful of people that came back, but whoever came back, we got a very simple trade. There was actually a Titan right before right. So if you knew nothing else but understood Titan, you could have taken the trade, right? And so you could have just taken the trade. There was no opposite direction. It was the cleanest move you could have asked for. It just shot one way. Okay.
I think we got that reversal going up right now.
There's another zone down below at
485, around or the 500.
I actually have a zone from 512 to 503. It's strictly volume, based on volume, and it's right down there, like what you're talking about, like 480, 490. It's the last volume zone before. It's the last little volume zone before that major low there, which I'm sure we have marked up from the weekly webinar.
Exactly. That's what the 485 level is, and then it did smash the 543 level, and I'm not sure if it's going to go back up from that support because that was a support level I labeled. So I'm hoping that this is the trend up instead of down. But since we're in that range,
Hey, remember what I said earlier this morning? What's the best way? What are they? They're doing exactly what I said. Is they're gonna push it down low. I don't know if it's gonna go up. I'm just basing it off of history, correlations, what it's supposed to do, And so the best thing that they could do is start pushing price down and get an all retail to sell. Now, what they're going to be doing is they're going to be passively and very quietly buying into the selling. And then that way, when the rate comes out, they'll smash the button and then it'll fly. All the sellers will get stopped out and then it will double fly. It'll fly even crazier. So
Yeah, twice as fast. Yeah,
yeah.
more volume.
Yeah. Our delta is divergent as well. So it is moving down, but it's not, let me show you. You see, look at this low here. There's a low.
Yeah,
There's a low. Here's our current low and our current low. So you see how in terms of overall divergence, not just in the current move, the current little move is in agreement, but the actual divergence in lows from here to here to here, you see how this is actually
yeah,
the highest low. Next, this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and you see how they're getting higher, higher, and higher.
yeah.
It's looking
That's
to
setting it
me,
up.
it's divergent, yeah, and it's looking to me like what I would typically look for when I see that would be buys, but we need to hold off for 54 minutes right
Right.
now.
There's still like an hour left. Yeah, I
There's
was
still an
thinking the
hour
same
left, yeah.
thing.
But this would be the perfect time. I mean, everything is working out perfectly right here. We've pushed down lower. Sellers have come in. Look, you can see them right here. You can actually go in and you can see all these cells that are coming in. I mean, just look at the red in this profile. I have my cluster here. I've got my profile set to bid ask. So instead of this profile being colored based on volume, it's being colored based on the amount of buying or selling, kind of like delta, but it's not a net difference. I can make it look net. I can make it based on delta, but I actually like to look at it based on actual buy and sell. So you can see there's lots of sellers, right? And they're piling in. So yeah, we'll see. That was a pretty nice little turnaround there. But I'll be hanging out. I by the way, I don't know if you guys, I don't know if we ever
Hold
talked
tight.
about it or not, but we did get that nice little trade here. This was that flush right there. I got TP on that. I moved it down a little bit though. Originally I had it up here and I ended up closing the trade, but I think it went up there anyways. Let me see. My TP was just right above that candle. Yeah, I probably would have hit full TP, but I didn't hold on to it. See, now this, you might be able to look for a reason to sell because that would be in line with what we're doing here, right? If we anticipate the price will keep going down lower, might even look for reasons to sell when you see a clear change of hands. So, essentially, when you see delta switch from buyers to sellers, might be a way to keep riding this thing down. But I've got some results I want to share with you guys. So this is on my,
Another Titan one.
oh, nice. I didn't even see that setting up, but yeah,
Yeah.
instant win. Oh, we had 2 Titans in a row right here.
Mm-hmm.
So here is one set right there. I'm not going to keep doing this, guys. I decided now that I've got all of my, I'm no longer on any evaluation. So y'all know I was working on 20 and I was working on 20. And so I had 20 evals. I had 20 PAs and I had 20 evals. I'm not going to keep mentioning that just because I don't want to keep mentioning it. I don't want to get caught up with anything because I know there's certain rules, but so this will probably be the last time I show stats from 2 different accounts, but this is one account. There's 20 PAs here. This is on my 300K accounts. So 708 after fees across to all 20. And then the other set of accounts I just started working on. So I've only got 1 trade in. And that is this one right here. I got 100% win rate because I only took one trade so far on that one. So I haven't merged them all together.
Okay.
What I'm doing right now is I'm basically just taking my trades on TradeOvate because it's the easiest thing to do right now. I've really got to work out my Addis copy trading to make sure that that's working. If y'all remember, it was working and then something happened and it kind of stopped working perfectly. So once I get that hooked up and working, it's gonna be crazy. 40 accounts, and I'm gonna be trading one, and it's gonna be copied to all 40 of them. So just
Good
to
God.
yeah, so
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
Bless
Nice.
but already. So now this account here, I'm still under the payout threshold, so it's not real yet, but it's on its way. I'm 200. This is actually the first trade I've taken on these PAs since because I passed them yesterday, and I got every single PA for $6. So that was perfect
Nice.
timing. Yeah. So there's that's those, but yeah, check this
Thanks
out.
moving up.
On a
Good.
day on a day like this, we've got 730 plus 215, 945 times 40. Look at, can you imagine that? $37,000, and I've been trading for an hour and a half. That's the power. That's the power of leveraging these accounts. That's a big picture plan right there.
Man, that's zip code changing money.
Yeah, zip code changing.
Zip
Exactly.
code changing. Amazing.
Hey Ken, quick question on TradeOvate. When you set up the copy trader, you know, like I'm trading across the two accounts, and you know you put them in a group, right? In the settings, it says it asks for quantity. Does that quantity number need to does that number just need to be one, or does it need to be one for each one of the accounts?
It needs to be one for every account unless you're doing something like this. Okay, so let's say if you're trading, you have a 100K account and then you also have some 50K accounts, and you
Okay.
want to, and you need to, you know, maybe you're going to trade on the 50K accounts and you want to risk, you know, $200, but on your 100K accounts, obviously you need to risk double that, right? So you could
Okay.
multiply the contract. You would put 2 instead of 1, and that would multiply the contract. So you would trade your smallest account and then multiply the contract so that the risk is, the same across all of them.
Okay.
So,
Got you.
yep, that's what you'll do.
What if the balance in each one of the accounts is different though? I mean, even though let's say you got $225,000 accounts, but the balance in each one of the accounts is different. Does that matter or no?
No, the balance so much doesn't matter because
Okay.
it's the risk that you're working on, right? So, you know, the
Got you.
balance, sometimes the balances are going to be different, but regardless, most likely you're going to be risking the same amount. For the
Right.
most part, if you're trading the same size account, you're going to be taking the same risk on each trade. So,
Right.
you know, so you would leave that as one. You just leave it
Okay.
as one. Yep.
All right. One last question around that topic.
Yeah.
If I execute the trade on TradingView on one of the accounts, does it automatically copy over to both accounts on TradeOvate, or do I need to take the trade on TradeOvate in order for it to group trade?
All trades will have to be placed on TradeOvate. So if you're
Okay.
using group
Gotcha.
The
trade,
devil.
You said the devil.
it is a pain, but it is a pain, but with practice, you will start to enjoy it. It's super quick, fast, and easy to take trades on TradeOvate. It really is. It's just
Yeah.
kind of there, you know, there could be some safeguards that could be put in place for sure. Certain little things that could be changed about it that would help a lot, but you know, it is what it
Yeah.
is. And then sooner or later, one day you might just switch over and be trading on Addis. And on Addis, you guys, it's very, very easy to take these trades. So like I'll show you an example real quick. This is what I like about Addis so much. If you look at my screen real quick,
Yeah, I'm looking.
just give this a second. This is the first time I've loaded MNQ. All right, so let's say I think that I should buy. I can buy right here, right now. Hold on, let me see. I actually think I should sell. So I could sell right here, like this, and it tells me my floating P&L, right? And now I can also do this with copy trading. I could do this on all 40 of my accounts. Now I could drag my stop
Love
loss
it.
here, and it'll tell
Yeah.
me how much I'm risking, and I can drag
Mhm.
my TP like this, and it will tell me how much my TP is worth as well. So you see how and it will copy that across to all of the accounts. So that's why I really like taking trades on Addis.
Got it. Mhm.
It's like TradingView. You know, this is
Right.
as close to TradingView as you could get. But you could see everything, and then plus they also have all sorts of things like where you can automatically make it place your stop loss and take profit. You can also set up break even and trailing stop. So that way, every single time you take a trade, every time you take a trade, it will automatically do those things for you. So it's like an ATM strategy on Ninja Trader, you know, where it'll damn near automatically take the trade. It'll do everything for you except for place the initial trade.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. How much is Addis? It's pretty expensive or
It's like $100
reasonable?
bucks. It's like $100 a month.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah.
it's $100 a month, and then you have to use. Well, you know, you have data. Yeah, it's basically $100 a month. See, I pay an extra. I pay 100 for Addis, but then I also pay 100 for data through DX feed because I like to have. You see how I can see the entire depth of market right here. I could see
Yeah.
these are pending buy limits and these are pending sell limits. So I can see where big bulks of liquidity are sitting at. Like I can see a huge buyer sitting down at 501, right?
Right.
So right at 501, make you wonder like, hey, what's going on at 501, you know? And why is somebody positioned there? They can't hide that, you know, that's there. And so you know, so it again though, if you're going to be trading like if you want to use order flow, I'd recommend investing into Addis. I think that it's the best one. And I tried all of them, as you guys know. I tried literally every single freaking platform, and Addis was the one that I found to be the easiest to use. I can't believe we're already moving up. I really wasn't
Yeah.
thinking that we'd move up prior to this news, but what, you know, it is what it is. We'll see. I mean, we could still move down before the news, but I was really hoping the easiest situation for us is to be at a low right before news comes out. If we're at a high, then it's likely that price could first push down. It could be more of a like a whipsaw type of reaction. So that sucks, but we'll see.
Yeah, I have a feeling that it should come down because we're only hitting midpoint now, you know.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my hope. But like you said, it's kind of odd that it's popping up a little early, and we still have what, like 30 more minutes before the news, or 40 minutes before the news. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah,
We'll see where the
40
market takes
minutes.
us. Yeah,
Yeah. There may be some
that's long enough
sellers
for
sitting up
anything.
there at the top of their range. You never know.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll drive it back down before it go
Tim,
back up.
I thought the announcement was at 2 p.m. Eastern.
What?
The Fed, I thought the Fed was at 2 p.m. Eastern, not noon Eastern.
Let me make sure. It says 12 p.m. my time. Let me make sure this is correct. Oh,
Yeah, that's
shoot.
2
Oh,
o'clock
I'm
Eastern.
seeing Forex Factory is saying
okay,
11
yeah,
a.m. Pacific.
Okay.
that'd be
Yeah.
quite further. Yeah, so we have a few more hours. This could still push down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 p.m. Eastern, Fed funds rate, FOMC number projections. Yeah.
I just opened up Facebook. I was gonna post that discount thing, and somebody I see it says, "Huge news! I now accept Affirm, Afterpay, Klarna, and more. You can now finance your tattoos. You want that 4 to
Oh
8
wow.
hour 4 to 8 hour piece, but you only have 150. It doesn't matter. What are they gonna do if they don't pay the rest of the payment? You can't repossess a tattoo."
No,
Nope.
I
Klarna
don't
and
have
them.
news till 12, man. I got almost 3 hours till news.
No, something's not right. You're gonna have to check because let me just double triple check. All right, so
Just 2
Double,
o'clock.
triple check, but mine says 12 o'clock p.m.
mine says 12 p.m. federal funds rate.
Yeah, that's 3 hours from now.
Oh shoot!
What time zone
Oh
though?
yeah. You're right. That because
What are you
that is.
doing, Ken?
I thought I was looking at EST. So yeah, that is right. It is not happening in 40 minutes. It's happening in 2.5
Right.
hours.
Good Lord,
Right. We got our
man.
time zones.
Got us all panicking.
Yeah,
The
we got
time
our
zone.
time zones all messed up.
I know. There's
It's
too
all
many.
Yeah,
right.
2
It's
p.m.
all
Eastern.
right.
Yeah, 2 p.m.
I was
Eastern.
going to say, Ken, that those afterpay type situations, they actually pay the seller right away, and
Oh.
it's up to that person to pay Klarna or the Affirm and all of them, and then it's their credit that gets hit. So it's no repossession; it's just their
Yeah.
credit tanks,
That's
or
funny, though.
they have to pay a whole bunch of fees. Yeah, but it's hilarious. Could you imagine repossessing a tattoo? That would not be worth. That would not
Yeah,
work for you.
I love Klarna and
Wake up in the
Afterpay.
middle of the night and they got that gun that erases tattoos all on your arm. What was that one movie, Repossession, where they'd give you hearts and stuff, but then they'd repossess it if you didn't pay for it?
Oh, I think
Anybody ever seen that?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just take the whole arm. Oh, you got it on your back? Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm here to collect your tattoo
Oh,
you
that's
didn't pay
terrible.
for.
Well,
Hilarious, man.
that's great, you guys. If news doesn't come out until for another couple hours, and we got plenty of time for this to
Yeah.
continue to cook. But yeah, so shoot, we're chilling. I'm gonna go get me a Celsius. I'll probably what I'll do because I'm up pretty much about $1,000. So what I'll probably do is I might watch the charts for 30 more minutes just to see if anything happens. I wouldn't mind trying to be part of a one more sell off before news happens. That would be awesome if it.
One more nice little sweep.
Yeah. Something like up here. Like, look, we've fully cleaned out the low side here. If we could come up into here and take some of these highs.
Hold on. I want to see what you're talking about. Give me a second. I had to switch screens.
Okay,
Dang it, switch screens.
Titans are just winning
All right, go
over
ahead.
and over. So
You said you want to get it to where?
yeah, so what I was thinking was here, let me get rid of this because I'm done with it now. So what I was thinking was if we could sweep some of these highs here or these highs here, right? Because these have been the highs since open.
That's the one right there. I want to sweep that one.
If we could sweep that and then push back down,
Before the news comes along.
Yeah, there's a real good chance that we could end up back here before news comes out today. That would be 130 points right there. Just saying.
How far are we from that high?
We are. If I'm looking at this right, let me see, 730. Let's say right around here. We're about. Oh, this is MNQ. Hold on, let me switch.
Same difference. M&Q works fine for me. That's what I trade.
Oh, well, too late. I already switched it.
I tried to stop.
Okay, so we are from the high. I think this was the high right here that happened after open. Yeah, we're about $700 away from the high. 36 points. So yeah, if we push on up here, break those highs. Look, we got all the volume up here. We got our weekly VWAP right here. We got yesterday's closing price of VWAP right here. So yeah, we're if we could push up into that area, let me just double check here on TradingView. That's 748. Yep. So we would like to get up here. That's where I'd like to see it anyways. And then, yeah, and then turn around, drop back down, dude. That's, just as an idea, let's say if we bounce off of here, and then we come down and we beat POC and we trade around the POC back down to the low. Just saying that if you manage to hold one contract from the high to the low, that's a $2,600 move from here to here. Well, we're talking about 130 points, $2,600 on one contract. So,
Wow.
it's possible. I can't believe I didn't see this happening right here, though. I don't know where I was when this set up.
We was asking questions.
I don't know. Because I didn't see, look, these big orders right here. This kind of gave it away. Like we had all these sellers stepping in right here. I'm assuming that people bought here, bought the first push down below here, got stopped out right here. So you have a mix of new sellers coming in and stop orders getting stopped. Not me. I took my profit. But everyone else that thought that this was the whole move up, they may have just tried to hold on to that. And a lot of them got stopped out right here. If we zoom in right here, you could see where, look, this was that low. So you could imagine all these right here, these sales, a majority of these are probably stop orders, all right there. And so then we had a big buy come in right there, 99 contracts. So yeah, they're messing around. They're messing around. So now what we're back up at the highs. Yeah. POC just shifted down to here. Is anyone sitting in a dark room right now? Because if you are, you've been blinded. You're welcome.
So bright.
Yeah, wake up, wake up.
That's so funny. You've been blinded.
Titan has done a really good job today. It was a little choppy in the very beginning of the day, but after that, it smoothed out real good.
Yeah, that chop was just a buildup, just a little buildup of energy. That's all it is.
Okay, I made a little picture inside of here as well, or I should say ChatGPT made a little picture for me. So I consolidated all the information. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
Hilarious.
Yeah, so let's just double check the information. You see, I put one data pass is okay, but not required. No consistency rule in evaluation. Reset $60. You're right. Oh, my bad. I told y'all earlier that if price came down into this little area here where we've got these single prints, that was the forecast from yesterday to start looking and watching in those areas. And it got a pretty good reaction when price went down there. I don't know if that's coming across. Let me see. That's a 15-minute. Yeah, I don't know if that's coming straight across or not. But now we have, this is all from today. What we've done is we have made another rejection zone right in there. Let me see if that came across. No, it's not. It's not syncing globally, but you can see where that level starts right here. So right at about 550 down to the low of the day where we rejected there. We'll see what happens when and if price comes back down into that area again. Didn't spend very much time there. All right, I'm gonna go grab a Celsius real fast. I'm just gonna leave this view up right here so we can see Titan signals and we can see volume zones. Now, remember what I'm waiting for here. We could be breaking this high. I'd be interested. We could be breaking this high, and I'd be really interested. These are the two highs that happen since market open. Okay, so this was the high. This was the high, but what had happened was the market opened and it pushed up there. So that's why I'm leaving it here, because this was the high that was created before the open. This was the low that was created after the open, and we've already seen how price reacted to that area, and how price reacted to that area. I don't think that this lower zone is as important anymore because now price is pushed out of it and through it. But these areas are untested, so interested to see how price reacts to those. Again, my idea is, this is just an idea, but if we get rejections here, what I'd like to do is try to see if we can sell it back down. Even if we sell it back down to, like, middle of the range type of area, something like that, that would be fine. What I'm looking for, a fake break. And what that looks like is very simple. It's what I always point out, where price pushes out, and then you just watch. It pushes out and it closes, and that means nothing to us. It means watch the next candle. And ideally, we have a bullish candle break out, and then we have a bearish candle come in next to it, failing to make a new high and closing strong. So I like to see a strong close on this candle and a strong close on this candle. And so you would either front run the trade after this one closed. All right. So what I do normally when I front run them is I'll wait for this candle to close. Then I'll just watch this one open. If it doesn't immediately shoot up above, if it, a lot of times the candle will open and it'll kind of, and then it'll pick a direction. So if it doesn't immediately push up higher and it immediately starts to push down lower, I'll just sell. I'll sell because that's the lowest risk. The absolute lowest risk is when price is right here, right? When price is up here, because if you wait for this candle to close, then you're going to be entering down here. You're going to have a higher risk. Higher risk means risking more money. So yes, you may end up getting stopped out by front running it, but it's going to be like $100 compared to if you take the whole trade and you're risking anywhere from $200 to $500. So that's what I'll be looking for at those areas. If it happens to happen while I'm gone, I don't know, but yeah. Okay, be right back.
We've definitely slowed down. These candles are nice and slow. Just building.
Are we going back down?
Yeah, it looks like it. I just caught that Titan. Yeah. Earlier. Should have stayed in it. I got out a little too early.
It'd be cool to see it just whoosh.
All right, I'm back, guys.
Just in time, Ken.
Yeah, I see it's curved over. It never touched those levels, huh?
No,
But
I guess.
we did have a nice Titan come through for a win.
Yeah, I got that one.
Man, it's going all the way to TP2. $600 right there.
Yeah.
Right as Quantum switched over too. You see that? Look at how it just like perfectly squeezed over right as the entry happened. I don't even know what that's coming from anymore. Dude, my email is getting just demolished with Christmas. This Christmas every single day I'm cleaning out my email and it's like back handspring and more clinic something other into Christmas and 2025 wrapped up in a Christmas bow. Christmas came early. The miracle is here. It's like holidays.
Talk about a holiday bombardment.
Mm-hmm. There's another Titan too. Let's see. Right at the value area low. Yeah, how are you guys doing? How was your trading today? Is everybody green? Anyone need any help? You got any questions? What you got? I just assume everyone's
Yeah, Mike is
green.
hot. Peruvian. Peruvian Mike's hot.
I have a question.
What's up?
So you're on the 4-hour chart and you're marking up all your levels. How do you get it to transfer the rest of your charts?
Okay, so if you want it to transfer to the rest of your charts, I on purpose, I don't like all these lines going onto on my other charts just because it's my own preference. But to answer your question, it's this button right here. So you see this little link. If you'll click the arrow, it'll say new drawings will sync in layout or new drawings will sync globally. So if you turn this on, first of all, you have to turn it on and then select what you want. If you want to mark it up on this chart and then those lines appear on every other chart, then what you'll have to do is select globally. So new drawings will sync globally. If you've already placed your levels, Unfortunately, they're independent to that chart alone. But if you replace them, right, like if you just enable that, and then like right now, if I was to enable globally and then I just drop a line on my old line, then it'll place it on the other ones. You follow me?
Yep. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yep. Do we have any fitness stars in here? People that work out a lot, that know a lot about building muscle and the right way to, the right form and this and that. Any of you guys good at working out?
I've been training for about 35 years, so
Perfect.
I'm
All
a
right.
5 day a week guy.
Okay, so I've got a question. I don't know if you've heard of this before, but I seen a video that somebody said, "You're doing it wrong." Right now, yes, he was selling a course, but he said, "You're doing it wrong." He said, "You don't get muscles simply by reps." In other words, like, like let's say if I've got some dumbbells in my hands, the normal thing that somebody would do if they're working on biceps is they would curl them and then curl them, and they would do, they would do 3 sets of 20 or whatever. So what he said though was, don't do curls. He said the best way to do it is actually to kind of like bring your arms up as if you were curling them, but like hold them in mid place. So in other words, where, if you're curling, you feel your biceps activate max level at
Right.
one point, and it's more than a 90-degree angle. It's almost upward, and then you have
Right.
the weight in your hand. He said, hold the weight right there. So in other words,
At the contraction, like a peak contraction to hold it.
yeah, so like
I see what you're saying.
don't sit there and do reps, but instead just hold it as long as you can. And then at some point you're not going to be able to hold it anymore. Slowly let it go down, and then you do your little rest, and then you do it again. So instead of just pumping out reps, you're actually just holding the weight for as long as you can, and then releasing, letting the atrophy or whatever it is go away, and whatever that is, and then you do it again. Have you ever heard of anything like that before?
I mean, and all the time been training. I don't know, honestly, that it would be a rare instance to like hear that type of suggestion. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to grow muscle. I mean, one is what they call progressive overload, which is just lifting heavier and heavier. There's time under tension, which I do a lot of, where a lot of people don't know too. Like you actually will build more on the negative. So to part of what he said is, I think, accurate, and I would agree with, in that I'll go up, and I don't like throw the weight up, but if you're doing a curl, like lift it at a normal speed, but then on the way down you do a slow drop on it. So it's a negative, is what they call them, negatives.
Yeah.
And so there's that. So that's time under tension. And you could also do it on the positive too. Like you could do just the whole movement can be slow movement. And then there's volume, which is just sheer, reps and sets and all that stuff. So there's a number of different ways to do it. I mean, what I have heard, and what I do a lot of times with my arm, like buys, tries, chest, that type of stuff, is that after a set, and this is from a guy, if you want to follow a guy that knows what he's talking about, look on YouTube. It's called Athlean X. It's ATHLEAN-X. A guy named Jeff Cavalier. He's probably the most followed fitness guy on YouTube, but he knows biology. He knows nutrition. He knows everything, and he's ripped like 365 days a year. And he's not like a massive guy, but he knows what he's talking about.
Right.
But he was suggesting, like at the end of a set, like say you were doing your biceps, to your point, like as soon as you get done doing your set, then you flex it again just without weight, and you just flex it for like 6 seconds. You hold for 6, then you let go, and you do that like 3 times, and then it just helps pump more blood into the muscle, which is what you're really trying to do anyway. So blood brings oxygen, and it does a lot of things. So I, as far as holding, like I could see maybe holding it for a second. I'm not somebody who's just like, oh, just do that and just hold it for as long as you can, and then you're done. Like, I don't know that. I mean, I don't know. It's the contract. I mean, I don't know. That's a hard one. I just have never heard very many people, and I've been following this stuff for a long time. I don't know that I've ever I mean, I can probably count on less than one hand the amount of times that I probably heard that, and it's been a very long time to the point where I'm not even sure when the last time was that I heard something like that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know that.
Yeah.
I would stick with the stuff that 99% of the people are doing, and to build muscle, and that's progressive overload, time under tension, volume, those types of things.
Right. Right.
Or a combination of, you could do just one of those things. You can do a combination of them. It just depends on, and it's actually probably good to change it up anyway. So
Yeah, I was just wondering, but let me tell you, I tried it because I try everything, and because I've got some workout equipment here at my house, and I've been doing it for a little bit, and so what I was doing was I was just doing that. I was, because you got your typical stuff. You've got your kind of where you have the dumbbells in your hand and you push them out to the side, kind of like you're trying to fly, like, I don't know what you would call those,
like you're from down along your side up, and you lift it up.
Yeah.
That's a lateral raise. That's a lateral raise.
Lat raises.
So I did lat raises, but instead of just doing reps, I would just hold it for as long as I could, and that's hard, very hard actually, harder than I thought it would be. And
like in the Olympics, the rings.
Bro, I was dying. I was like, and so then I was also doing it in front of me, above my head, but that's not very hard. And then the actual just regular bicep curls, but I was holding them. And I'll tell you what, I'm super sore. Like, I'm very, very
that would be
sore.
great to mix in.
Here's what
maybe not do that all the time.
Yeah. Well, if you want to see if it really works, then don't change anything else but that. And do it for like 30 days. And because you can't just like do something for a few days and like make a judgment call.
Yeah.
Like 30, I mean, technically like 90 days is good, but like you can
I'm adding it now. I'm gonna try that, Ken. I like that idea.
So if you want to play around with it, I mean, listen, maybe there's something to it and nobody's talking about it, but I just, I've never seen anybody or even many people talk about that strategy. But maybe there's something to it. But again, you have to be able to isolate that. It's like, okay, it's like changing a bunch of supplements or something or medication, and you're like, what actually worked? I don't know. I made too many changes at one time. I mean, honestly, it's the same thing with trading, right? If you want to make a tweak to your strategy, you can't like change 5 things at one time. Like, is this working? Okay, let me check. And that kind of goes back to your 100 trades and all that stuff. So it's all correlated, but try it out. Try it for 30 days and see if you get some growth. And, if you have a way to measure, like if you not that they're really accurate, but if you have the same one that you're using all the time, you can at least have a baseline, like a scale that measures.
I've got an in-body at the gym that I go to that I can hop on, and it measures all that, all this. You stand on it and it does that. It does whatever.
Yeah, I would go in and before you start doing this, as your test, measure all that stuff, write it all down, and then do it for 30 days. Don't change anything else, including like your diet and stuff, because that'll change things massively too, depending on what you do there. But just keep everything else the same.
Yeah.
And then try it out and see what happens. I'd be curious, man. I'd be curious to see what works.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I mess around with things, and it's a little different for me because I don't know why or what. I've been blessed because my body type. I don't know if it's just my genes or whatever, but I've always been athletic, and I've been it's like I don't actually have to do much. Like, if I work out, you'll see the results right away, like very, very quickly. If I, so it's exciting for me because when I get a little kick, like I want to start working out, I'll see results really fast. And so yeah, like
that's another good question. So are you just kind of starting to like work out pretty regularly then?
No, I always
have you been working out?
I always work out, but I don't do a lot of weightlifting. I do a lot of swimming, running, things like that. Mainly swimming. So I like swimming. So I'll go to the gym, and I've got a pool there and stuff. So there's like a steam room and things. So I'll go into the steam, and then I'll go and I will swim, and I'll go into the steam, then I'll swim, and I'll just go back and forth, spend an hour and a half.
Yeah.
There.
I mean, so it's going to be interesting because the reason why I asked is because if you hadn't been, and to some extent you haven't in this way, right? You haven't been doing the weight stuff. So you're probably going to see some results regardless of what you do, to be honest with you.
Right.
Just because you haven't been doing a lot of weight training. So it's tough to know, like, okay, how much of that is attributed to the fact that you're getting like a little bit more aggressive about your weight training, and how much of it is tied to the actual technique that you're using when you were weight training. So, but hey, I mean, it's like I said, it's worth checking out. I'd be curious to see
If this
what your
Titan
results are.
hits, we're up at the top, boss.
Yeah, I actually just won this Titan trade. I took this trade here in anticipation of reaching those areas. So I just won that. You can see my entry right here. I got in there, just now got out. I took it to TP1, so it was $250. I didn't use I actually didn't do this on purpose, but my entry, you can see the volatility has died off enough where I could have used 2 contracts, but I only traded one. So it would have been a $500 risk, but I only risked about 250 for 250. And I just hit TP on that. So yeah, you're right. If this Titan hits TP, we're at the first area that we were wanting to watch for the fake break.
Ken, what would you be? Where were you targeting to enter there for the reversal if you were looking at that breakdown?
I'm gonna wait until I see how it sets up. I don't know yet, but I'm basically going. What I'll be looking for, a few of the things, if y'all want to follow along, is I've got my delta pulled up, right? So some of you guys may be using Trade Ovate. You should have your CVD displayed, and what we want to see is we want to see a solid push up above here. What I like to do is I like to see a push up above here. Now, I can do this easily because I have access, I have Addis. You guys can do this as well on TradingView, but what I normally look for is I'll look for a candle to break above the high. So this is the high we're looking for. I want to see a candle break above it, and then I like to see a close up. Basically, it's kind of creating a zone. So we have the old high, which is here, and then we have the new high, which the candle creates. And so there's a zone between here and the new high of the candle. What I like to see is inside of this zone, I like to see imbalances on a footprint chart, buy side imbalances, showing buyers entering up at the high of the candle. And I like to see that between the old high and the new high. So in this little zone right here, we should see a buyer imbalance. And so that's going to be the best thing. Now we'll see that happen, and then the next candle will open, and I like to see this candle close below the imbalance of buyers, right? So what that would look like is like this. Let me pull up Addis real quick, just to give you a visual example. So see right here, we have this high right there. Okay, so we have that high right there. So when this candle closed here, we had delta, right? We had delta, everything was good. I would have been looking inside of this candle, and see, this one didn't, there was a small gap, but the candle closed here, right? So that really left no space between the close and the low of this candle. And there are no buy side, and well, there's a little bit, yeah, right here and right here, but it's not like this right here it's on the line. This is not a great example because it's so close. I'm just trying to still give you a visual example. So you see it broke above the high, closed above there. We have positive green delta. And so then what I like to look for is on the next candle, I want price to close below the buy side imbalances. And I don't like it if price goes up above it. But if it goes up above it, I've been a little flexible with it where I'll still consider it, but it just makes the risk bigger, because now you see what I need is this candle to close below here, and below that imbalance right inside of here. And so if it does, now I got to put my stop all the way up here instead of right here. So again, this isn't a great example, but that's what I'm looking for. So I want to see a candle close up above it, like what we see right here. I'd like to see buy side imbalances on the footprint chart. Then the next candle ideally does not go above the high of the previous candle, but the most important thing is that it's able to push down and close down below those buy side imbalances. If that happens, I'm normally ready to go in. So like in a case like this, it closed right at the price. It's not horrible, right? And you could have entered here, tick one tick above it. That would have put you right at a $95 stop loss. And so $95 stop, you would have, even trading it right there, you'd have been able to, take at least $100 out of it. If you even targeted the last pullback right here, it was $140. So or if you target the POC, right, then that's about a $200 trade. So that is essentially what I'm looking for, is a close above it. Again, this is not a great example because it closed right on it. I probably would have just ignored this myself. Like I didn't even see it happening anyways, but I probably would have just ignored it. And then the other thing too is I like to see in the next candle, I like to see delta change over to red, which it did not. It still showed a presence of aggressive buyers in there. So the best way to do it is to just show you live in real time as soon as it's happening, like as it's happening, show it to you. See, we got the same thing here where we push down, and we know we're breaking lows because this is the daily low, that's the daily low, that's the daily low. So here you could see, we broke down below that daily low. If I zoom into here, you can see all throughout here we've got sell side imbalances all throughout there. You see where we've got the buy imbalances and the sell imbalances. So you can see them. I know they're kind of hard to read, but you can see inside of here. There's one there. I try to find like a little group of them, like where we've got two in a row. So like we've got two in a row right there. We've got two in a row right here. These are the ones that I would normally use because they're within the value area. And so now when this candle opens, the next candle, so this one pushed down. When this candle opens, I really want to see this candle closing up above those areas. Once they close up above those areas, then I'm cool to enter. And if I have good buy side imbalances, sometimes what I'll do is instead of putting my stop all the way down below, right, because I had to enter at the candle close if I didn't front run it, instead of putting my stop all the way down below, I'll find the last imbalance and I'll put my stop loss one tick below there. So that means that my stop loss would be right at 539.25. And now look, you'll see it. So that means that I would have bought here. Hold on, I've got to figure out who's got the hot mic and mute them.
It's me. I was just agreeing with you
Okay.
about that.
Okay. I couldn't hear anything but clicking. So now look, and this is great. I couldn't have planned this out any better. We would have bought here. Our stop loss would have gone one tick below that buy side imbalance right there. And then look at what happened is on the next candle, you see how it pulled back to that buy side imbalance to the tick basically. And this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I don't like them to run all the way through. Now this was only 2 ticks in size. So this is very small anyways, but that would have gotten us in right here. We would have bought on the candle close, would have put our stop below here, and that would have been $140 risk. And, we would have obviously made some good profit on that. So that's, it's
Yeah,
just, that's what I
makes sense.
look for at those areas. It has to, it takes a little practice, you know what I mean, to get in there and be able to see it fast enough. But when you've done it when you've done it so many times for so long, it's easy and fast to do it. For me, it's like very, very simple.
Yeah, thanks for explaining that. That's awesome.
You're welcome.
Kind of, I can see it visually. It's kind of
good.
really very, very clear on the Addis chart. That's really cool.
You can do this on a footprint chart too. I mean, on
Okay,
trade
yeah.
of eight, just to be really clear. Now, yes,
Yeah.
Addis is way freaking easier. That is why I have Addis, because I like to be able to go. I use that footprint chart dozens of times per day, a lot. I use it a lot. So, it's all about being able to see those buy side imbalances, and then especially when they're in the value area of the candle. See, I could have used this whole value area, or I could have focused on where the imbalances were, and I'd rather do that. And so that gives me a little cleaner section there. And a lot of times you'll know that you're doing a good job because price will react to those areas perfectly, like that. Like, what are the chances, that it just came back to that exact area?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, I can even see that right there.
Yep.
Kind of nuts.
Yeah, and then even in this candle here, which this wouldn't have helped you because I mean, you could have used this candle, but if it would have closed at that point, you could be looking. Let's get rid of these. Get rid of those and just look at this candle without seeing what happens next. I can clearly see that we have aggression from buyers right here. There's more buy side imbalances, and I've got my imbalances set to either 150 or 300%. I can't remember, which means that there has to be 300% or 150% larger volume on the buy side than the sell side. So as you can see, at these prices, we had 2 contracts sold, 3 contracts sold, 3 contracts, 3 contracts, 3 contracts sold. But at the same prices, we had 11 bought, 10 bought, 14 bought. You can literally see that there is
Yeah.
more buyers present at this 540 level than sellers. So if you mark that up like this, right, and you mark this up right here, see, I'm highlighting the areas where I see what's called stacked imbalances. And so I like to find zones because, yeah, like this is great, right? 31. That's the biggest number on here, and that's great to see, but it's one tick. You know what I mean? It's just one tick. So
Yeah.
price might react to it, but it's still just one tick. It could slip past it. But when you have a zone like that, now watch when price comes back to it, right? So see, we drew that up based on this right here, and now we see this next candle open and price broke through that first zone, and then it went down to the next and last stacked imbalance. So you see, there's no more in this entire candle that I see. Yeah, there's no more stacked imbalances. This is the last place where there are actually stacked imbalances right here. And so, and that's where price ended up going. And then, you could even maybe look at the next candle. Again, we don't know what happened. We don't know what happened next, but we could look, we could see right here. I wouldn't really use the ones at the high, but we've got stacked imbalances there. We got double stacked here, triple stacked there, double stacked here. Okay,
So
so
they're
I typically would watch these areas here, the last one in the candle. It didn't touch it, right? It didn't touch it in the next
right.
candle there. It broke past these and didn't do anything with those. I'm probably getting a little too far away from that main point where we'd really be using this stuff at.
Yeah, but that makes sense though. It's like where where that stacked imbalance would occur. You're looking for that pop up and then straight down.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then the other thing too is you don't know what happened in this candle. So I know, like looking at these stacked imbalances right here, these three of them right here, after the fact, it looks like it went straight through it, but you'd be surprised that when you're actually watching that, just remember you may be going, if you're doing this right, you're probably going 1 for 1 or 1 to 2. You have a plan of where you're trading. So if you're planning on buying right here, well, I thought I grabbed it. Let me see. It's not letting me, but I don't know.
The zone, yeah.
It's here, but I can't see it. But anyway, yeah. So there is a good chance that it actually did tap here and then go up and then come back down later. So a lot of times,
Yeah.
after the fact, it looks like it pushed right through it. But there's a really good chance that it may have pushed down in here and then bounced equal to this. So this was 3 ticks, right? So it could have gone 3 ticks, then it bounced up 3 ticks, and then gone down below there. So you just don't know unless you were actually there trading it live.
Right, unless you were watching that candle develop and everything.
Oh yeah. I guess we never got that break of the high.
Yeah, no, it looks like it
over.
went right back.
Yeah, it ended up
Yeah.
curving over. I have doubled my results though since the last time we looked at this. I was at 211 earlier. I took one more trade, and now I'm at 437, and that's on that second set. So I'm doing all right here. Says I lost a trade. I don't remember losing a trade. Let me see. I could see all of my trades right here. I traded here and I won that. And I traded here and I won that. I don't know what it's talking
You said
about.
something earlier today about it hitting your stop loss by 1 tick or something.
Yeah, that was on my other accounts though. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, that's very strange because look, it says like I don't get it. Yeah, look at this is my whole report. So it says I have a 66% win rate, but look, losing trade 0.
That's a break even with fees, right?
I guess I don't know, but I didn't even break even on anything. I literally these are the only 2 trades that I took on this account was I bought here, I sold here, so that was profit, and then I bought here and I sold there, and that was profit. That's it. That's all I got. Oh, I know what it is. Earlier I took that trade on M&Q to show somebody an example, and I just opened it and closed it, and maybe that was counted as a it was this one right here. I thought I closed that in profit though.
Well, if the fees may, like, I've seen that happen with me too. Like, even if it says 0, but there's a fee of whatever it is, like it shows you as a losing trade, which I hate that from stats perspective.
That's exactly what it is, because see, I opened it and closed it at the same price, but I paid the fees on it. So the fees were $4. That's what it was. Yeah. Oh yeah. You're 100% right, because see, it says it right here. Gross loss breakdown, and it's just the commission. That's it. There's no actual loss from the trade, just the commission. Well, all right, guys, we've got an hour and a half or so until news. I'm gonna hop off of here, go grab some food, chill out for a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back and go live at when the news comes out, so that way we can watch it. I could be done for the day, easily could be done for the day. I've got 700, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm up 1,100 total across all accounts right now. So I could be done for the day. If I find a low risk opportunity, then we'll take it. We'll take the trade. The only way I'm gonna take it is if we've got a low risk opportunity to take the trade. Obviously, we're gonna have a good reward potential. Right, we're gonna have a good reward potential, so it'll all come down to the risk. If there's a low risk trade opportunity, we'll take it. If not, we might just observe and watch the market go crazy and just have some fun. So I'll see you guys here in just a little bit. I'll just pop back into Discord whenever the maybe like 5-10 minutes before the event takes place.
See you later, man. Thank you.
You're welcome. Later, guys.